What's good, YouTube? Welcome to my channel, man. My name is DivaTequila. I appreciate you being here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. To those of you new to my channel, welcome, man. I love you so much, man. Leave a subscribe if you'd like. We've got Overwatch content, gameplay, news, and such, as well as some Power World stuff coming up in the future. I dabble in 2K, Apex, Call of Duty, all that stuff. For my returning viewers, my apologies for the brief hiatus. For those of you familiar with my home life, I do have a newborn son, a very beautiful, talented wife who tattoos, and I'm a work-from-home dad. So schedules can get a little chaotic and convoluted at times. Timelines kind of blend together and stuff. So it's been about a week since the last video. Nothing major, but anyways, I appreciate y'all being here. Today we've got some pretty massive news that's come out officially from Blizzard discussing the future of Overwatch esports. I know this has been a very big topic of conversation, a very volatile topic, if you will. The Overwatch League has been announced that it's like officially shutting down. So that's obviously left the big question of what's going to happen with competitive Overwatch, what's going to happen with the esports, the entertainment aspect of it as well, and with that, what's going to happen with just the future of the game in general. Because with Overwatch League dying, that definitely opened the door for the question of, well, is Overwatch going to die? And I think this article here gives a lot of positivity and a lot of stuff to look forward to. So without much further ado, too much rambling, we'll get right into it. So they've announced that there's going to be a new Overwatch esports ecosystem entirely. So they go on to say, the game is competitive at its core. It's best when you have, two equally matched teams battling it out, whether that's in ranked or whether that's in an esports environment. People really enjoy seeing the sweaty games, seeing the competitive games, seeing equally matched games as well. So this restructure, this reshaping, all of this conversation is also going to apply to just ranked games as well. So hopefully we'll see some more balance in ranked games, but they're also going to be restructuring just the way the esports competitions go in general. Obviously there's not going to be an Overwatch League, so with that being said, the new professional side of Overwatch is going to be dubbed the Overwatch Champions Series. So there's going to be multiple qualifiers, there's going to be a majors, and there's going to be a finals at the end of the year. This is going to be the big, entertainment side, the esports, the professional side. This is going to be the side that's really going to, shape the fan base. You know what I mean? Because not everybody that's interested in Overwatch plays Overwatch. Some people really just enjoy watching Overwatch. I didn't play Overwatch 1 at all, but Overwatch was the first game that I personally saw on ESPN, and I thought, oh fuck, that's dope, man. And I would actually just watch some of the games just because it was kind of cool. At that time, I wasn't gaming heavily, so I didn't really mess with it, but. So it's going to be an international competition open to players across North America, Europe, Middle East, and North Africa and Asia. So it's going to be, international competition, pro series. It's going to be kind of sweaty, you know what I mean? There's going to be multiple stages. It's going to be spanned out over months, Basically, this is going to be like the year-round pro circuit. So there's going to be multiple competitive stages where each region will have its own set of qualifiers, giving players the chance to battle it out. The stages will culminate in 2 live, in-person international tournaments. This makes me really think of, the peak, like, League World Series, League of Legends World Series, and how just crazy packed those event centers get. I would love to see, like the majors for Overwatch or the finals for Overwatch garnering that type of attention, or even like the ALGS, the Apex Legends Global Series. For a couple years, that was massive. It was actually held in Raleigh. I live like 30 minutes from Raleigh. It was actually held in Raleigh a couple years ago, and it was actually insane to be nearby. So they'll battle through the qualifier rounds. It's going to be a month long, I believe, up until the majors, and then you've got another set of that for the finals as well. But basically, the way teams are going to qualify through this, if they're not already garnering enough attention, already existing pro teams and such, is going to be through this new FACEIT. So it's an open and sustainable Overwatch esports infrastructure. This is essentially going to be the new path to pro. So you can think of it as, I think before they did have a very similar thing that was like a path to pro for Overwatch, where you could actually get your shot into getting into the Overwatch League. I know like NBA 2K has like a path to pro type thing that you can compete in. Call of Duty for years had like MLG and game battles, where if you garnered enough attention and enough pro points, then you would eventually get a shot, on the pro circuit. So FACEIT is basically going to be like I don't know if it's necessarily a third-party website or if it's going to be like a new like game engine in and of itself in terms of, you have Battle.net, you have Steam or whatever. I think FACEIT's gonna be the new way that you're gonna like load into the game, but it's basically gonna be like what's hosting competitions and tournaments and stuff. It'll link you together with other teams that are competing, and depending on how well you do in those tournaments, you can obviously, I would imagine you could probably win prizes from those tournaments alone, but then, the big thing is going to be if you win enough tournaments, then you're eligible to compete in the new little pro series, the Overwatch Champion Series. So you have the Overwatch Champion Series, has like your pro top tier, and you've got FACEIT, which is going to be everybody that's in the meat grinder. You know what I mean? Trying to make a name for themselves, trying to get their team lined up. The Asian region is going to be divided up a little bit differently, as opposed to, like North America is just going to be one massive region competing against each other, whereas Asia is going to be divided into 3 subdivisions: South Korea, Japan, and the Pacific Asian area. And that's mainly because the entertainment aspect is different for each one of these regions. It's also, usually they have different metas, they have different play styles and such. All of the major regions play differently from each other. Europe is vastly different than North America, vastly different from African servers as well. So this allows there to be some more diversity amongst the really competitive Asian region. So you've got South Korea, Japan, and Pacific, and then it goes on to say in this year graphic that the Pacific region includes Taiwan, Hong Kong, Philippines, Thailand. It's kind of blurry, I don't have my glasses on, but you can read the rest, you know what I mean? So there's going to be a massive Overwatch Champions Series Asian Championship event, and those should be live streamed. I think 2 are going to be in person as well, is what it says. So be on the lookout for that. Wara.gg, I believe, is going to be like the Asian region equivalent to the FACEIT. So you got open qualifiers and such. You can sign up for the tournaments and try to grind your way through the ranks via War.gg. Next thing they mentioned is there's going to be some international live events, which is actually pretty huge. We kind of expect at this point a game that's been around this long, that's already had so much popularity in esports. I already mentioned, like, I found out about Overwatch just casually on ESPN one day. The entertainment value is there. You just have to capture that. You have to get the platform for it, and you have to get it in front of people. So I think them playing in-person events that will be live streamed at Dreamhack is going to be massive. It not only puts the game on the forefront for Overwatch fans, it also is going to introduce Overwatch to the next generation. You think of the teenagers that are coming into gaming, that are coming to these conventions, that are watching these conventions and stuff. It's going to introduce new people to Overwatch, regardless of age, obviously. But not only is it going to give current fans the opportunity to watch the highest level teams compete, it's also going to introduce the game to new people, which is obviously huge for the longevity of Overwatch. They briefly touched on other Overwatch esports opportunities, mainly regarding the Asian region. Here just talks about North America and such. How in addition to the Overwatch Champions Series, you're going to have the FACEIT opportunities as well to play through that and grind up. But it does say stay tuned for future announcements. So I think a lot of that's going to be in regards to the rank rework that we've been promised. But in the Asian region, you're going to have 2 massive tournaments, the WDG Cup and then the WDG Scholastic Tournament as well. So there's some cool things to look out. The Scholastic Tournament is going to be an opportunity for collegiate, high school, and middle school students to play. So that's dope, man. We just talked about the new generation getting opportunities to not only be introduced to the game, but also compete in the game as well. So we love to see it, man. They have the calendar posted here for you to see the timeline of the events for the competitive series this year. February through May, you got everything leading up to the majors, and then August throughout November, you've got everything leading up to the finals. So you got two major tournaments, 2 major seasons, so to speak, going on here. But for the majority of the year, from February to November, other than the break for June and July, you've got a lot of professional Overwatch you get to watch. So that's pretty dope as well, man. Then they go on to answer some frequently asked questions. They do say stay tuned for more information on where Overwatch esports will be streamed. So we know it will be streamed. the information is just not readily available yet. I know that there's obviously a lot of questions in the air at the moment between, Twitch streaming, Kick streaming, YouTube streaming, yada 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 yada. So anyways, that'll be announced later. In terms of the eligibility for competing in the OWCS, you have to be at least 17. It's 8-man rosters, 8-person rosters. My apologies. And then a maximum of 2 non-resident players per region. So if you got European friends that want to play on your North American team, go for it. Get in some FACEIT challenges, then grind your way up. They touch on the specific jurisdictions. I'm not gonna read through all that, but yeah. There we go. There will be 2 international live events for fans to attend, so that's cool. I'm not sure if this is going to be in addition to the Dreamhack live events. I think that's what they're talking about, but stay tuned for more information regarding ticketing. I would obviously love to go to one of these events one day. I think this year the one that's in the United States is in Dallas, so I'm not going to that, but that'd be cool, man. We'll see what happens one day. Where can I start competing in the Overwatch Championship Series? So the qualifiers will begin. Oh, that's when will begin in March 2024, and then in Asia it'll begin in February 2024. So literally just a month from now, we get the rebirth of competitive Overwatch. So that's pretty cool, man. There will be viewership incentives similar to how when you watch Overwatch League games at the moment, you can get skins and such for your favorite heroes. So that's cool. And they go on to touch about what FACEIT is. Basically, it's an avenue for competitive gaming. Like I said, you can think of MLG, or you can think of insert whatever here, game battles, whatever you want to call it. So it's gonna basically be a host of tournaments for people to compete in, grind in. It's gonna keep track of people's, I don't know if you want to call it rank points or whatever, prestige. It says it's going to be seamless to use. It does say it's not different than Battle.net, but the fact that this question is being asked makes me think that you're not going to load up the game normally. You're not going to load up the Battle.net launcher and then load the game through that. You're going to have to download a different launcher is what I'm thinking. Because they say, will my experience be different on FACEIT than Battle.net? So obviously there is going to be a different experience. They say it's not different, but it's going to be a different platform. You know what I mean? So more information is going to come out, obviously, but it's nice to see that the future of Overwatch esports is being taken seriously. I'm excited for the future. Like I said, I never got into Overwatch 1. I was still active duty military at the time, and then I was in pharmacy school and such. So timelines didn't align for me to play Overwatch 1. But now that I'm playing Overwatch 2, I'm actually really, really enjoying it. I don't want the game to crash and burn. I try to have an unbiased opinion, you know what I mean? Obviously, I was very skeptical with the announcements of Overwatch League not being a thing anymore. And while that's unfortunate, it is nice to see that there are some up-and-coming events on the horizon to give us that enjoyment that we need, give us that competition that we need. You know what I mean? It is a competitive game at its core, man. And if there's no real avenues to compete other than ranked, it can't last long. You know what I mean? So it's exciting to see that we're gonna have another form of a pro league, and then we're gonna have another path to pro opportunity as well for those of you who really want to try to grind out and sweat, man. But yeah, man, if you stuck around this long, I appreciate you watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, man. Do you think that the future of Overwatch esports is bright? Do you think it's dim? I, for one, am an optimistic, glass half full type person, so I want to see this thrive. I want to see it flourish. Obviously, the proof will be in the pudding, so to speak. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens as time goes by. But I love you, man. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Take care. Peace.